Hey, what's up guys? Chris Lee back with another Just Throw a Disc Golf video. Hey, check this out. If you're new to this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell to get more videos like this in the future. Alright, so what's up guys? Chris Lee back with another video. What I'm going to be doing in this video is just pretty much talking to you guys about 10 discouraging things that I am experiencing or have experienced so far as a beginner in disc golf. Now guys, this may or may not change for you, or this may or may not be a thing for you, but I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about some of these things because it may or may not apply to you, right? I'm saying may or may not a lot, but realistically, this is just a thing, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into it right now. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Alright guys, so number one is you may not throw as far as everyone else. Guys, this is by far a big fact when it comes to disc golf, okay? Realize that everybody has different levels of experience when it comes to disc golf, okay? Some people have been throwing 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, 20 years, whatever the case may be. Some people I've even heard say that they've been throwing disc golf probably about 40 years. The reality is this: if you are a beginner in disc golf, you may not be throwing that far. And the reason why you may not be throwing that far is because you might have poor technique. You might not have the arm speed. Honestly, you might not have an X step and you may just be throwing from the front. The reality is just starting disc golf, you need to learn a technique, you need to learn your form, you need to have some arm speed, and honestly, you probably need to get an X step. Now, you don't necessarily need to throw using an X step to throw far. You can throw far from the front because sometimes I have to do that as well. The reality is this: all you have to do is just take your time, put in the work. Don't compare yourself to other people, okay? Don't compare yourself to somebody who has been playing for 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, 2 years, whatever the case may be. You just need to focus on doing you, learning how to perfect your craft, your technique, your form, your arm speed, and I promise you the distance will come. Give it time. Don't rush the process. Just let it happen. Trust me, it's going to get a lot better. For me, when I first started off almost 3 months ago, I couldn't throw that far, okay? Basically, I was throwing all the same distance with the putter that I did with a mid-range and a driver, simply because I didn't have good form. I didn't have good technique. I didn't really work on my arm speed and things like that. I just kind of got on the tee pad and I was throwing. So basically the same results that I got with a putter or mid-range, I got the same distance out of a distance driver or a fairway, which it should not be that way, okay? But once I started to get my technique down, my form, my speed down, then I started realizing, dang, I need to disc down, which means stop throwing a distance driver or a fairway and use more of a mid-range and a putter off the tee or for certain shots, because I would barely put anything on it with good form, and next thing I know I'm OB or I'm throwing too far, and it's like, man, I barely put any strength in that. The truth is this: once you start to get your technique down, then you're going to have to use less of trying to force the disc out or arm strength. It's just going to be all finesse or just using a little power or just the proper steps, whatever the case may be. So give it time. Everything is going to work out. And that's kind of one of the things that I dealt with as number one on the list for me, okay? Number two for me is don't focus too much on scores. Guys, your scores are going to change a lot in disc golf, especially as a beginner. First, you're going to start off as somebody that's just going out, having fun, throwing the disc with your friends or your family, whatever the case may be. Then once you start to get really good at disc golf, then you're going to start wanting to score yourself to see how well you're doing in the process, okay? Now, hear me out on this. It's a really good thing to go ahead and score yourself so you can actually see where you're at, but you don't want to score yourself every single time, because you're going to start being too hard on yourself. It's going to get really discouraging. You're going to be +8 one day, +15 another day, even one day, +4, -2 another day. It just all depends on who you are, okay? For me, I have had days to where I have thrown even, I have thrown +2. I have had days to where I've thrown +14. It can get really discouraging, but if you're constantly scoring yourself or just, focusing on your scores too much, then you're definitely going to get discouraged while playing disc golf. Also, do not try to compare your scores to guys that are -8 guys or -10 guys or MPO guys or, MA1 guys. Those guys are at a higher level, a higher rating for a reason. They've been playing for a while. They work to get there. If you're just starting off, you're probably going to be somebody that hit, plus 20, plus 25. For me, I didn't start off necessarily that bad, but I'm a little bit different because I'm a natural athlete across the board. Any sport that you put me in, I just kind of figure it out. I get really good at it somehow, and things just start to work out. So I am one person that is learning disc golf really fast to be 3 months in. Okay, 3 months in, I'm getting really good scores. I have some good days, I have some bad days. Some days I throw par. I've already thrown -2 at a brand new course. Some days I throw +4, or I average +4, +5. Regardless, I put in the work, I put in the time. I'm a natural athlete, so I'm automatically gonna learn things a lot faster. Okay, and that's just for me. But do not focus on the scores a lot, because you will get discouraged. Okay, and you don't want to get discouraged while starting off in disc golf. All right, so number 3 for me is people might criticize you for practicing and playing too much or too little. Here's the deal, guys. Regardless to what anybody says, you need to focus on doing you, and you need to try to get better for you. You're not doing this for the disc golf community. You're not doing this for your friends, your family. You should be doing this for you. Playing disc golf is a challenging sport because it involves you to basically have some focus, some technique, some skill, and it's not the easiest thing to try to throw a disc in a basket, especially if you're throwing 200, 300 feet or whatever the case may be, okay? It's the game of golf, but with frisbees, okay? Anybody who play ball golf will tell you that it's probably not the easiest thing in the world to start off with. It takes time. But don't listen to all the negative criticism that you're going to get from people saying that you practice too much, or that you play too much, or you're not playing enough, whatever the case may be. If you feel like you're not practicing enough and you're not getting better, then go out and practice more. If you feel like you're practicing too much and you need a break, I'm one of those people. I practice a lot. I put in a lot of work, and sometimes I think I overdo it, but I don't care what people say about it. Like, people will be like, we're in Arizona, it's 115 degrees. Why are you going out and playing 2 times a day? Because I want to. It's my business. I can do whatever I want to do. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. Okay, so you don't have to feel like you need to answer to somebody about why you're practicing so hard or not practicing hard enough when you're doing disc golf. Go out, do you, have fun. You know how much you need to practice. You know if you need to take some off, and just focus on that. Anybody being negative while you're starting off as a disc golf beginner, then I can tell you right now, you need to definitely try to cut those people out of your life, or stay away from those people, because they will discourage you playing disc golf, and you don't need that negativity. Minute Maid. All right, so number 4 is you will have bad days, okay? Now, when I say bad days, you will have bad days to where you don't really feel well. You'll have days to where you don't really feel like throwing. You may have an injury. Like I said, you may be throwing bad. Guys, it takes a lot to get up and play disc golf every day. But I can tell you this, disc golf has made me more active because I put myself on a schedule. It made me more disciplined. I get up every day at 5:30 in the morning, and I either go play disc golf at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. Regardless, I go play disc golf on an empty stomach, and I can tell you right now, some days I'm just coming from coaching. Some days I'm just coming from doing things with my family. I have a really big family, or I work a lot, or I'm doing YouTube stuff, or whatever the case may be. And you're not always going to have the energy, the motivation to get up and go out and throw, but I go out and throw anyways. Some days you're just going to feel bad. I personally, some days I don't feel good. I feel very agitated in the morning because I'm not really a morning person. My body be kind of stiff or hurting a lot from either arthritis or medical reasons that I have, things that's going on. And I can't really go out and perform the way that I want to perform. And that's going to happen. You may go out and you may not feel well. So you can already tell once you tee off the first tee, man, this is going to be a rough day, especially if you miss an easy putt. I have a lot of days like that. It's like, dang, I'm throwing off the tee pad bad. My upshots are crap. My putting is bad. Guys, you are going to have more bad days than good days. Just let it ride. Like, do not stress over it. Let it happen. Allow yourself to feel that. And then once you realize what that feels like, then you have the power to try to change that in the future. Own that and try to change it. Try to change it in a moment and say, you know what? It may not be the best day, but I'm still going to give it my all. I'm still going to come out and have fun with my friends or my family or competing or whatever the case may be. Just try to change your mentality about how you feel, but don't allow it to carry over throughout your entire round, because I can tell you right now, if you do bad on the first hole, first basket, it's going to carry. If you keep thinking about it over and over again, you're going to make one bad putt, one bad throw, and then it's going to be another bad putt, another bad throw, and then, you know, you're going to see yourself taking 4s and 5s and 6s on holes because you can't forget about what you did on hole 1. So forget about that. Try to get the negativity out of your head and just try to have fun. Just enjoy yourself. All right, guys. So number 5 for me, I think that was 4. So number 5 for me is, you may not have a lot of money for fancy gear. You may not have a lot of money for fancy discs, okay? Do not get that in your head that you are less of a player because you're not walking around with a $350 cart, okay? Or, you know, a $100 disc golf bag or whatever the case may be. Do not feel bad if you can only afford a $25 pack of disc, okay? That just may be where you're at right now. And that, as a beginner, that may be all the money that you need to spend, okay? Don't compare your gear to other people. Yes, you're going to deal with a lot of people who have been playing for a while that are going to tell you, man, stay away from DX plastic or stay away from this plastic or that plastic because it's trash. Guys, regardless if it's trash or not, you as a beginner need to go ahead and get your disc, get out there and start throwing. Pick up a disc, start throwing it where you're at. Find a course in your area. Find a park in your area. You know, I get it. Why some people say that. Sometimes you're going to run across courses that have nothing but rocks and concrete. So they're really going to beat up your disc pretty bad. So you might get a brand new disc and go out and throw it and, you know, you hit the concrete or a rock. And next thing you know, you got a big dent in your disc. That happens all the time, or it chips some of the plastic off. So they try to encourage you to get something more durable that can handle that. But if you're already playing on grassy courses and things like that, then it doesn't really matter which disc that you're using anyways. Yes, different plastics are going to fly different, but guys, that should not be the focus. You shouldn't say, oh, well, I'm going to automatically go get some premium plastic just because my DX plastic is flying a particular way. As a beginner, you don't need to focus on that anyways. Just to give you an example, like you're going to have discs like this, okay? This is more so like a DX plastic, all right? The plastic, this disc flies really good. This is a destroyer, but it can get really beat up on concrete or rocks courses, okay? Rocky courses, because it tends to take a lot of beatings, okay? Got a lot of dents and dings in it or whatever the case may be. It's still a great disc. This is a really good disc to throw. It's actually one of my favorite discs to throw, but it does get beat up. Since I play on a variety of courses, I had no choice but to kind of upgrade to kind of play different courses with different discs. Now, I didn't get rid of these because sometimes I go play on my home course, which is nothing but concrete and rocks, and I'll rather use these versus my premium disc because I don't want my premium disc to get all banged up and beat up from playing on that course, okay? So this is the way to go. It's all right to have this. Now, you may find, you know, more stuff like this. This is more of a premium plastic, all right? This is the Forged Era Drew Gibson's disc, okay? Line of disc from Finish Line. But this is a different type of plastic. So I love Star Plastics. I love G-Star Plastics. They just have different plastics out there, okay? Like this is my Innova Beast, okay? And this is a G-Star plastic. So it feels really gummy. It's more of a premium plastic, okay? It's really gummy. It's not as hard. It's very flexible, bendable. So when I throw this pretty much can hit rocks, concrete, grass, you name it, and it's not going to get that banged up because it can actually handle that. It flies different. It feels different. I love the G-Star. I love Star Plastic as well. Discrafts plastic, which is ESP plastic, this one here, this is more of a durable plastic that tends to do better in concrete or rocky situations. This one don't tend to get as beat up. I've thrown this at every course here around me in Arizona, and it's pretty much still looks brand new. All right, so this is a really good plastic. My point being is this: don't focus so much on trying to be like everybody else, okay? If everybody else has a lot of money to go out and spend money on this, then let them do them, okay? If you can only afford a couple discs at a time, then focus on that disc. When you start to get really good with those discs and you feel like it's time to upgrade, start to upgrade. If you notice, I have a bunch of discs back there on my wall simply because I started off with these discs. I threw with them. I loved them. And then I felt like as I got better within this 3 months, it was time to start to upgrade. Same thing with my bag. I started with a regular bag, and then I went with a bigger bag, and then now I got a $300+ cart. simply because that's where I'm at as an athlete right now. That's where I'm at as a disc golfer. Is I am able to upgrade my gear simply because that's where my skill level is at right now. Okay, so I got premium plastic disc. I have better quality bags. I need more stuff when I'm out throwing just because I know what I'm doing now. Before it was just like I didn't really know what I was doing, so I was just kind of getting out there and throwing whatever I could throw, and I left it at that. But now that I know how to throw this and choose this, then I buy better plastics, I buy better equipment, and that it is what it is. But that's just what it is for me. Number 6, natural athletes just simply learn faster, and they turn out to be a lot better than somebody who's been doing disc golf for a long time. Don't get discouraged by somebody who is a natural athlete, okay? And what I mean by that, you may be somebody who's been trying disc golf or playing disc golf for the past 2-3 years, okay? And it may took you 2.5 years to learn how to throw a forehand or backhand or a certain distance, or, you know, get a good score. But then you'll see somebody just coming in who's a natural athlete, and within a month or two, boom, they're getting good scores. They're throwing further than you. They have a better backhand than you. They have a better forehand than you. Guys, if they are a natural athlete, then understand that it's going to be a lot easier for them to catch on. Some things that it may have took you almost 10 years to doing disc golf may only take them a year. This is just the reality of the game, okay? It has nothing to do with you per se, but they are just natural athletes. Some people just have a natural gift of learning things, okay? You simply need to just focus on you and play your game. Yes, you're going to deal with some people who are jealous. You're going to deal with some people who are envious, some people who are negative. Some people are simply upset because they've practiced so long and you come right in and all of a sudden you're throwing just as far as them or just as good as them or whatever the case may be. Guys, if you're going to have negative people like that in your life, go ahead and cut them off. Go find somebody else in the disc golf community who is actually going to praise you for doing as good as you're doing, okay? I am learning disc golf really fast, and I am doing a lot of good things in such a short amount of time. I can only imagine where I'm going to be a year from now, or 2 years from now, 5 years from now. I'm hoping to get really good in disc golf because I'm very competitive. I love to play disc golf, but I just love to learn new things, and I love to try to perfect my craft. I never just do anything just to do anything. So guys, I would highly recommend that if you're going to be a beginner in disc golf, don't compare yourself to other people. Even if you are that one person that I'm talking about that just has a natural gift, you focus on doing you. Don't put nobody else down. Don't be arrogant. Don't have too much ego. Just if you're good early on, then just be good early on. Perfect your craft, but don't try to belittle anybody and make anybody feel bad. And definitely don't deal with people who try to make you feel bad for being good, okay? It's the nature of the game. If you're a natural athlete, you're just typically going to be better. Period, point blank. All right, so for number 7, guys, you will miss a lot of shots. And when I say a lot, you will miss a lot of shots. Don't get discouraged about missing so many shots. You're going to have a lot of bad up shots. You're going to have a lot of bad tee shots, a lot of putts. It's just the nature of the game, okay? You have to take your time, put your practice in. Sometimes I know for myself, I was kind of like rushing a lot of things in the beginning because mentally I felt like, dang, I'm the new guy and I'm playing with all these skilled, experienced guys and they want me to hurry up and shoot. But they never tell me to hurry up and shoot. In my mind, it's like my own insecurity or anxiety that's telling me that they want me to hurry up and shoot. You don't have to rush a putt. Now, I'm not saying take 3-4 minutes to putt. I'm saying simply breathe in, breathe out, relax, get yourself lined up, and take your time, about 30 seconds to a minute. And if you feel like you're ready to go ahead and make that shot, then go ahead and take that shot. Sometimes I need to reset. You know, so I have to, I set up and I'm ready to go. And next thing I know, I'm like, no, something don't feel right. Got to breathe in, got to breathe out. Okay. And then once I do that, I go ahead and take my next shot and boom, I make the shot. You're going to make a lot of bad shots. Okay. Don't rush the process. Go ahead and take your time. If you miss, you miss. You miss one putt, then go ahead and take another crack at it. Now, if you're practicing, then I highly recommend that what you need to do in the process is if you're going to be struggling with putts like I do, then practice at home with a basket, number 1. But number 2, When you take shots at the basket with a putter and you're working on your putts and it's a casual round, take 2 putters with you, okay? Maybe even take 3. Take a shot. If you miss, boom. Take your second putter, shoot again. If you miss it again or whatever, take your third putter and try it again. Guys, that's the whole point of having casual rounds. That's the whole point in practicing. You need to take the opportunity to go ahead and learn how to shoot that shot so you can get better at it next time. Now, if you're doing it with a bunch of anxiety and pressure in your head that people want you to hurry up, then number one, you probably shouldn't be playing with any of them, because that's not how the game of disc golf works. It's not a race. It's not, let's see who can do this the fastest. It's not about that. Take your time, get your shot lined up, breathe in, breathe out, take your shot and make it. That's all you got to do. Number 8 on the list for me is you may lack something in disc golf starting off, okay? So that means you may lack a forehand. I'm one person who lacks a forehand. I've gotten a lot better here in the past 2 weeks or so, but I really lacked a forehand, and it was really discouraging me because a lot of the shots that I could have taken to actually get better scores, I couldn't take those shots because I didn't have a forehand. So I was forced to backhand something that required a forehand. Or, you may be somebody who's really good at a forehand, but you struggle because you need a backhand or you need more power, and maybe you can't get as much power out of your backhand that you can with your forehand. So, you may lack something. You may lack your forehand, you may lack a backhand, you may lack both and have to do something called a thumber, okay? So you grab it like this and you have to toss it up in the air to try to go hit the basket. Guys, you have to kind of figure these things out so you can get better at it. I've been putting in work with thumbers for the past couple weeks, and honestly, I've been using those shots to get me out of some very tough predicaments while playing disc golf. I was in tough spots behind trees, but I threw thumbers, and I was able to get the disc right under the basket. Guys, that's the nature of the beast, okay? That's the nature of this game. We'll lack something. You may have everything, but you may be stronger in one area than the other. Don't get discouraged. Learn as much as you can. If your forehand ain't strong, work on it. If your backhand ain't strong, work on it. If you don't have either or, try a thumber, okay? If you ain't got any of them, then work diligently to try to work on getting better at each one of those areas, piece by piece. Don't try to do everything at once because it's just going to frustrate you. Number 9 on my discouraging list as a beginner, you may not do great for your first tournament. I just recently had my first tournament, and honestly, I scored in the middle of the pack. I actually could have scored in a probably top 10 for sure. I would even say top 5, okay? But I had 2 holes that I struggled with, and I took a 6 and I took a 5 on it, giving me 5 extra strokes. But I scored a +9, but I would have been at a +4, which I looked at the list, and that would have put me somewhere right around 5th or 6th or something like that, okay? It doesn't even matter. It would have put me in top 10. I'm only 3 months in, technically 2.5, but 3 months in, and I've already done my first MA3 tournament. I should have been in an MA4, but I did an MA3 tournament, and I realized and I proved to myself that, hey, I can actually compete with these guys. If I would have played my best, I would have probably scored somewhere within the top 5. Like I said, top 10 easily. But I ended up scoring, I think, like 15 or something like that, 15th place or something like that. When you do your first tournament, you may not play great. You're going to have jitters. You're going to be nervous. Okay. You're going to be around a bunch of people and competing against people that you've never competed against. Absorb it in, take in all those emotions, and just play your game. Don't focus on what everybody else is doing. It's you versus the course. So you just try to play for par, get the best score that you can, and I promise you everything will work out in the end. I made the mistake of kind of asking questions where I was at, and that kind of got into my head. It's really better not to even focus on a score and just wait till the end, because now you don't have to focus on if your score is not that good or, whatever the case may be. Just play your game and find out the score at the end. You'll be surprised how much better you do without asking about your score. If you ask about your score and you realize that you're at +8, +9, it's going to get in your head. You're going to get discouraged, and then you're going to keep making bad scores, missing shots, missing putts. You're so focused on being +9, +10, and you are going to just keep making mistakes because you're going to try too hard to fix those mistakes. Don't worry about that. Just play your game, have fun, and I promise you, Your first tournament may be great for some people, but 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be that great for the majority of the people. Number 10 on the discouraging list, you may encounter injuries that prevent you from playing and practicing as much as you should or you want to, okay? This is a normal thing, all right? Usually some injuries that come about is because you got bad form, bad technique, or whatever. But if you're somebody like me, I don't rest enough. You should definitely rest. You should definitely take days off. But it's so hard when you are addicted to disc golf because you keep buying discs, you keep buying, gear, you keep going out and throwing multiple times a day because you love it that much. It's that addicting. At least for me, it has been that addicting since the day that I started, and I haven't been able to stop. Some days I go out and throw 2 times a day. Some days, some weeks I go every day without getting a break. You need to rest. You need to give yourself some time. For me, it's more of a mental thing. It's a mental stress reliever for me. So I love to get up and go throw disc golf in the morning. But like I said, if you can, try to give your body a break. Now, I tweaked something in my thigh, and I haven't been really working out as far as like running. I just been doing disc golf. Now, it could be from walking up and down the hills. It could be from how I'm X-stepping. It can be from anything. You never know what it is. It's basically been an injury that I've been trying to nurture back to good health. And it hasn't been that easy because I'm not taking a break, and I probably should take a break and allow myself to heal. But I just love disc golf so much. But you want to be careful because you can make the injury longer, and then it can actually put you out longer from practicing or playing. I'm a little bit hard-headed because I love disc golf so much, so I love to get out and throw every single day. But it's not going to be useful if I end up having a long-term injury and not being able to practice or play. Don't focus on it so much. Don't be negative about it. If you have a little injury or something that's going on, try to take care of yourself. Try to ice every day after you throw for your forehands or backhands, or you need to ice your shoulders, or you ice any part of your body. Basically, just go ahead and do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself, but don't stress. It's not the end of the world. If you have a little injury, take some time off to kind of heal up. Even if you are at home and you just want to practice putts in a basket or whatever, do that. If you need to take a break from doing X-step for a while, then don't X-step. Throw from the front. Whatever you need to do to basically prevent further injury, just take care of yourself, but don't allow it to get you down and discouraged to where you're at the point to where you don't want to throw anymore or you don't want to play anymore, okay? Injuries are going to happen. Just take care of it, allow yourself to heal, and come back to disc golf, okay? All right, guys, so that's pretty much it for the video. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. What are some very discouraging things that you encountered as a beginner when you started disc golf? Let me know down in the comment section. If you guys are interested in any of the products that I may have, whether that be disc, carts, whatever the case may be, I'll go ahead and have those links down in the description box so you guys can go ahead and purchase that. If you're interested in any of the disc or whatever that I may have talked about or shown in this video, I'll have it down in the description box. Other than that, guys, those are the 10 things that I feel were most discouraging for me as a beginner right now, being 3 months in. Now, I'm pretty sure that list is going to change. That list is probably going to narrow down because I'm going to feel more positive and kind of understand the game and the nature of being a disc golfer. But as of right now, those are 10 things that I feel are really discouraging for me as a beginner. Maybe it may not be that for you, but if so, I would love to know. But other than that, guys, I truly appreciate you watching my video. Stay motivated, watch my other videos, watch my shorts, share these videos with other people, and always remember, if you're new to disc golf, pick up a disc, don't stress, and just throw it.